Alright, here we go again. So, we got them sanded, and I just roughly put them out to see where we're at. Goal is to have, at this point here, 2 inches in, to be 8 inches. Then, at about 21 inches in, from that point, have it at 10 and a half, which we are roughly at. And then from the back here, we want 14 and a half. And then from here, we want 13 and a half. So that's what we're at roughly. So now, I'm going to cut boards to that size. If that works, then I'll twin them, and so then we'll have our cross boards. And I'll give it its flare from 8 inch here to 14 and a half there. That sets our trunnion length here to 14 and a half, which is what the trunnions are set to be. At widest, we're looking at 15, just shy of 15. At shortest, 14 and a half. And then we will drill it in. So the trunnions will have a little bit of a recess here, but will be flush the wood here. So let's get to it. So we got ourselves marked for the foot, the back. We got ourselves marked for the front. Let's do that. Alrighty, and as you can tell, this will then sit in there. I'm loosely holding it, so drop it down, kind of like that. Probably sit in a bit more further, but yeah, sit in something like that. And then be bolted like that. So we got one done. I'm okay with that angle. Let's try and mirror a front angle. And let's see if she fits. That's looking real good. Alright, I like that. So now, I'll make another one of those. Alrighty, so there we go. We got the back sandwich. Sit in just like that. And we got the front sandwich, which will sit in just like that. Alrighty. Do a little sanding. Call it good. Alrighty, so now what I've done is I've marked where my holes are for when I bolt the 2 pieces of wood together. And then I as well have marked the channel that I cut where this will sit in, so that way I don't have to worry about trying to drill a nice straight hole later and all that stuff. I can just put that right in. So now I set the depth to 1/2 inch, so let's go do some cuts. Now we drill some holes. Get this started to Alrighty, here's the next part. Drill in the holes for the iron. Now, everything should be good. I've spent some time measuring and remeasuring, double measuring. We all know how that works out. So, even though I've done all the double measuring, I'm still going to twin them. So I'm going to get this as flush as I can, and then shoot right through, right? Goal is to have a nice, even if I'm slightly off, they're still aligned and such. So, let's make that happen. Rough holes done. Oh, Lordy. Ugh. All right, put some bolts in. So now that should hold her. Now let's put the last one in. We got it all bolted on the sides here. I'll have to cut these up with a angle grinder. Get them all nice and flat. Next thing I can add is the ringlets. Let's go do that. Boom. Everything will need to be tightened, any excess cut and ground. All right, we're moving along. It is now a solid boy. Or girl, I guess girl. I'm gonna call it Virginia. Heck yeah. Yeah, this all has to be tightened up. There we go. Once again, as always, is this the right way to do things? No. Is this the best way to do things? No. Is this the safe way to do things? No. This is just the way I have done these things. This is how I make my cannon carriage, right? So we still got a few more things left. We'll drill the trunnion holes with the hole saw. Then we'll drill a long 1/2-inch holes for the bolts that go down to hold the trunnion caps with the axle cap too. But if I really wanted to, I could start mounting this on the axle. We are at that point.